this must have been about like 2004. Yeah, I was about 18 years old and I was still in high school. And if, if you've been following any of my other videos, you probably know that, like, I used to drive a red Toyota Echo. And mind you, it's an economy car. It's not, like, fast by, like, any means, but, you know, like some people say, it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than it is to drive a fast car slow. So, obviously, me being a teenager, I would drive safely, of course. And so anyways, onwards with the point, yeah, I drove a slow car, very fast. And Charles and I, we were just kind of cruising around one night because, as high school kids, we really didn't have anything to do on the weekends aside, from going to the arcade. And if we were broke, then, hey, we would just cruise around and go out for a drive because, gas was cheap and, I don't know, just hanging out with your friends, I guess, is fun. So, there we are. We're just driving down Amherst Street in Nashua, and suddenly there's this red Civic Del Sol, and it's just got like this really loud fart can on it, and it's just like we see him at the stoplight, and they're just like revving their engine, and Charles and I, we just kind of go like, the hell? And the girls like see us and they're like, "What? You want to race?" And we're like in an economy car. Like it's not supposed to go fast. All right, let's do it. So they take us to like this like warehouse area. Like it wasn't too far away. It must have been like maybe a mile or two down the road. And they take us there, and there's like a bunch of cars there. Like I guess they had been organizing like street races over there. And like I said, mind you, it's there's no like other streets or anything. It was actually like it ended like at a cul-de-sac, and there was just like a factory back there. So it was it's not like we were doing it Fast and Furious style, like driving through like the streets or anything. But yeah, so. There's just like a bunch of cars there. There was like, a Nissan Maxima and like, obviously the girls in the Del Sol, and there might have been like a Hyundai Tiburon or something, and other Honda Civics. And we're just like, oh cool, they're doing drag races, alright, yeah, this is fun, let's watch them. And eventually, the girls are like, they're like, yeah, we want to race the guy in the red car. I'm like, me? I was like, are you sure you want to race me? I was like, you're gonna smoke me. I was like, they're like, oh, come on, it'll be fun. And, it didn't take much convincing. I was like, all right, let's do this. Girls are going down. And, so, they line us up, and, Charles is like, dude, you got this, bro. They're driving an automatic. You got this. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like no. They're like, no, bro, you got this. Like, you know your car really well. Just, just shift when you think it's redlining. I was like, all right. And most of you have probably never driven like a Toyota Echo, but the cluster actually doesn't have a tachometer on there. But I knew when it redlined because you can kind of hear it, So, anyways, so they start. Like counting down, and then I'm like, all right, let's do this. It's go time. And we just take off, and obviously, the girls were driving an automatic, so they kind of like pulled on me a little bit, but I was just simply shifting, like, whenever I had the engine, like, revving really high, like, before it would, like, start, like, doing the, or, like, what do you call that, like, when it's pegging the red line. So I would just shift at that point, and surprisingly enough, I won. Like, I don't know how it happened. None of us expected it. People were just, like, their minds were just blown because they know what it is. It's a little crap, like a little shitbox, It's not supposed to go very quickly. But it beat this car that was, like, modded, I guess. Like, my car was completely stock, but, granted, I think that girl probably just had like an exhaust and possibly an intake. So I mean, that's not really like modded per se, but like, you know, my car is not really supposed to be able to smoke other cars. So everybody's minds are blown. They're like, no way! The Toyota Echo like beat the Del Sol. What the hell? Come to find out, the Del Sol had actually been beating all the other cars there that night. And so this guy in a Maxima is like, no dude, you and I gotta race. I'm like, dude, I don't want to race. Like, actually, wait, hold on. Was it a Maxima or was it a? Yeah, it was a Maxima. Yeah, the one with the 3-liter engine. Um, yeah, and he's like, we gotta race now, cause these girls like beat me. I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like your engine's like twice the size of mine. He's like, no, we gotta race. We gotta do this, man. There's no way that like, you know, your little shitbox and beat mine. I was like, all right. I was like, I guess so. I was like, all right, fine. So he had a manual transmission, and Charles is like, bro, you got this, man. They're like, you beat those girls beat you. I mean, those girls beat him. You got this. And obviously, you know, people are like putting money on this. They're like, some people are like, no, the guy in the red car knows how to drive. Like he's gonna beat him. Other people are like, nah, he's got a bigger engine. And honestly, I didn't bet on anything. But if I had, I probably would have bet against myself. So we take off. And obviously, you know, he's got more torque than I do, so he just kind of like takes off in front of me, and I misshifted the first gear because it was just like, like, as I shifted into second, and I was like, oh crap! I was like, I lost, but whatever. I kept gunning through, and you know, third, fourth, fifth gear, and I beat the Maxima somehow. And this guy was pissed. He was so mad. He's like, what is going on? He had to like rethink his whole life apparently, because I don't know, he literally thought that you know, his car having the bigger engine was supposed to have one, and I mean, technically speaking, he should have one. I literally think this guy just didn't know how to like shift gears, or he just didn't know how to drive. But yeah, Charles and I were just like, oh, dude, let's get out of here. I was like, all these other cars are going to keep racing me, and I don't want to do this crap anymore. I was like, I retire as champion. All races that I've ever done have been won, and yeah, I'm gonna retire that way. So, Charles and I, we just kind of booked it out of there, and we're just like, oh my god, that was a crazy night. Now, the thing is, no one really knows what became of that red Echo. You know, some people say that, you know, Nelson sold it. Other people say that after winning those 2 races, he was like, hey, you know, let's modify the crap out of it. Got, you know, a supercharger kit for it, upgraded the suspension, the brakes, you know, the fuel system, and, you know, now he does, like, time attacks on, like, you know, really tiny courses and stuff, and he's been leading the championships ever since 2004. Other people say that Nelson actually flipped the car, and you know, when he was driving to his girlfriend's house after a night at the movies, and he actually died that night. And yeah, that was the end of that Echo, and the end of Nelson, unfortunately. You know, some people, you know, a lot of people were sad. Other people were actually happy that he died. So don't really know what became of it. Other people say that he actually survived the crash, and he is now haunting people to this day. Of course, you know, I made it out okay, but it's what I choose to believe. It's what I hold dear in my heart.